guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm happy that you're back here with me joining today. As you already read in the title, we're going to be talking about how to change our sadness to joy. And the Bible story that we're going to be focusing on today is found in 1 Samuel 1, and it's about Hannah. I'm not sure if many of you have heard of the story of Hannah, but it's a beautiful story, and I'm not going to read the entire story in the Bible, but just to summarize a little bit, Hannah was married to a man called Elkanah. I believe that's how you say it. And back in the day, like, men were able to have multiple wives, so Hannah was one of his wives, but he had another wife, and her name was Peninnah. And basically what happened was that Elkanah's favorite wife, I guess, was Hannah. But Hannah couldn't have children, while Peninnah could, and Peninnah was able to give him children. So then when they would join, like, as a family, when they would be together, Peninnah would basically bully Hannah, would make fun of her, would make her feel horrible, miserable, because she couldn't bear children. So that made Hannah obviously miserable, that made Hannah sad, that made Hannah feel heartbroken, and she felt pretty much like she wasn't worth anything, useful or anything like that to her husband, and she was really sad. So then what happened is that she prays to God, and then God gives her a son, which is Samuel. And so God granted her prayer, granted her wish, and she was able to have Samuel. And not only that, but then God gave her even more children. Then later on he gave her 5 more children, 2 sons and 3 daughters, which is amazing. And the story is just beautiful, but that's not the main focus of today. You know, like I had mentioned in the title, it's about how do we change our sadness to joy, right? So there's a verse here that strikes me so much and that I love so much. But before that, we're gonna talk about Hannah a little bit. So like I had mentioned, she was heartbroken, she was sad. Here in the Bible, it tells us how heartbroken she was. It says that her husband asked her, "Hannah, why are you crying? Why won't you eat? Why do you feel so bad?" So as you can tell, like, Hannah was really sad and she was heartbroken. She would cry, she would feel so bad. It says on verse 10, Hannah was heartbroken and she would cry like all the time. And then she prayed to God, and then she said, "But I am so miserable." Like, she was so miserable that she couldn't have kids. As a woman, if you're a man watching this doesn't pertain to you, but it could be in a different scenario. But as a woman, like, our wish for most women is to have children, right? To have children of our own, to be able to see them grow and build a family. And she couldn't do that. Like, if being in that situation, that's really hard, and she was really sad, really heartbroken. But there's one thing that flipped everything around, that flipped her sadness to joy, that impacts me. It was just a moment, it was just an action that she took. And it says here on verse 10 again, Hannah was heartbroken and was crying as she prayed. "Lord, all-powerful, I am your servant, but I am so miserable. Please let me have a son. I promise to give him to you for as long as he lives, and his hair will never be cut." It says there that Hannah prayed silently to the Lord for a long time, but her lips weren't moving. Even the priest Eli thought that she was drunk, and he told her, like, "How long are you gonna stay drunk?" And she said, "Sir, please don't think I am no good. I'm not drunk and I haven't been drinking, but I do feel miserable and terribly upset. I've been praying all this time, telling the Lord about my problems." Then Eli replied, "Go home, everything will be fine. The God of Israel will answer your prayer." So before this, she said, "I've been praying all this time, telling the Lord all of my problems." "Sir, thank you for being so kind to me," Hannah said. Then she left, and after eating something, she felt much better. So, okay, let's backtrack a little bit. Before she even prayed, she was miserable. She wasn't eating, she was crying, she was sad. She was in a really, really, really bad place. But then she prayed. Right? After she prayed, after she poured her heart onto God, after she told him how she felt, afterwards it says that she left, and after eating something she felt better. Remember, she wasn't eating before, but after she prayed, she ate. What does that mean? That prayer changed everything. Prayer changed the way that she felt. Prayer changed the way that she would express herself. And now she ate, and then she felt better, and then she felt joy. She didn't have to wait to receive her son to change her joy. You see, like, her main thing was that she wanted a son. And we might think in our heads when we were reading the story in the beginning, like, okay, the only thing that can make her happy is having a son, right? But no, it didn't have to get to that point. It didn't even get to that point. God didn't even request her a son right there and then. But she was already with a different attitude. She was already, you know, feeling much better. She was already eating. She was already feeling joyful. And it all changed because of prayer. Because she went to God, told him how she felt, and that's what changed her. And so I encourage you that whenever you feel sad, whenever you feel like heartbroken, whenever you feel like there's no out, pray to God. And like I had mentioned in my first video, he is there for you. He wants us to look for him. Once we look for him, once we pray, we pour out our heart out, and we pray to him with all of our hearts, he will change the way that we feel. He'll change the way that we express ourselves, and he'll bring joy to our lives. I truly, truly believe that. I hope that this word is encouraging to you. Thank you so much for watching this video again. I really appreciate it, guys. And I really hope to see you next time. Bye.